And here we go. Hi, everybody. Tabletop Santa here, coming to you from the balmy Decatur, Illinois area. I should be in the North Pole, as we all know, but I am not because I'm doing interviews and the internet is better here than there. And I've got my good friend right here. I've got Tony from CGE, or Czech Game Edition. Welcome, Tony.
Hey there. How's it going?
Doing great. So for everybody that's new to watching Tabletop Santa content, or even some of you that have been watching for a while, Tony, can you tell us what Czech Game Edition is and what you guys are known for?
Yeah, absolutely. So Czech Games Edition is well, it started back in 2006. We started working on the first edition of Through the Ages, one of our classic games. And we're a group of gamers who are friends, and the company actually started to get Czech and Slavic game designers to actually get into the gaming industry. So we have, like I said, Through the Ages, Galaxy Trucker. A lot of our games are Vladia Fatel's creations, the creator of also Codenames. And
I've heard of that game. I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, so we have a wide breadth of different games. Our most recent two were Letter Jam and then Sanctum, and then we have another group that are coming in this season that we'll be sure to talk about during this talk.
Okay. So speaking of which, let's just transition right into that. So with the holiday season coming up, what are some products that you guys have coming out that you're really excited about to see on people's Christmas lists?
Yeah, so we have two games that we've been talking about quite a bit through all the virtual conventions and everything this year, and they are Under Falling Skies and The Lost Ruins of Arnock. Okay. So Under Falling Skies is actually a solo plus game. We say plus because it is collaborative. So it's a lot of fun by yourself, struggling out and figuring out the strategies. But at the same time, it's just as much fun collaborating with a friend or two to try to work out how can I actually beat this. In Under Falling Skies, an alien invasion has occurred. Okay. So as the mothership descends upon you, you are defending your city from a bunker underneath the city. Nice. It has a dice placement mechanism where you're rolling dice and then placing them into different rooms in your bunker that create energy or fire weapons and such. But the innovative part of this is whatever die face you place, if you place a 6, it generates a lot of energy. Okay. However, the alien dropships move down 6 towards your base. Ooh. And as they get closer, if they hit your base, you take damage, and that's one of the losing conditions. Mm-hmm. So everything is an intricate puzzle of how do I use what has been given to me, when do I use rerolls, and
so it's a dice placement management, resource management, press your luck.
Yeah, there is a ton packed into this game, and it has a campaign. Nice. So basically it's not legacy style, so there's never any destruction of the pieces, but you're unlocking different packets of information that actually have a really cool story that's told through comic book pages in the game.
Okay. So that's Under Falling Skies.
Yes, Under Falling Skies. Everything that I'm talking about can be found at our website, czechgames.com. But basically, we have game pages and images and stuff there. But so that's Under Falling Skies. The next one is Lost Ruins of Arnock. Lost Ruins of Arnock is our big box game this upcoming season, and that's been generating a lot of interest. And in Lost Ruins of Arnock, you are taking rival expeditions. Each player has a rival expedition. You found this lost continent, and the lost continent has ruins, and but no one's living there. So like it's some historical find. You are all archaeologists coming to find these things. But as you undiscover sites and stuff, you find that there are these guardians that are left over protecting different areas and such. It's a deck placement, or not deck placement, deck building, mixed with worker placement.
Nice.
So we have workers that are visiting different positions, and then you're using a deck building mechanic where you're purchasing cards to get a good machine going with your deck that so you can play cards in efficient fashions to do research, to discover more sites, and ultimately, hopefully, find the secrets of the lost ruins of Arnock.
So based on that information, does the deck building aspect do a engine building?
Yes, so it creates an engine as you're going along. Because one of the unique features of the game is, unlike most deck building games, in most deck building games, you play your entire hand on your turn.
Okay.
You'll be playing your entire hand on your turn. In Lost Ruins of Arnock, you're only playing a specific number of cards, and it can be one. But some cards have quick actions, so you can chain several combination cards together when you play. So you could play a quick action to gain a resource and then use that resource in your full action, and such of that nature. So there's a little bit of strategy. I'll say a lot of bit of strategy in making strong, effective moves,
Right.
versus just dumping your hand and then passing.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
That sounds super cool. And it sounds like everything I find there belongs in a museum and I have to win this game.
Yeah. So basically everything, and there are definitely hints along the way. I mean, you can find a fancy hat and whip and stuff throughout the course of the game. And there's a little bit of golden idols that you find and there's a lot of fun,
These Easter eggs are sounding really, really nice.
fun little hints of theme in there. One thing I did want to mention is it is primarily like a Euro style game. So you are very much doing your mechanisms to gain victory points to come out as the leader with the most victory points. However, most Euro style games don't have a lot of theme. And along with just Easter eggs in the game, but every art piece in the game, as well as every card, is completely unique. All unique art. And also the designers, Mean and Owen, Mean actually wrote a language when creating the game. So all the runes that are found on the little plastic tablets and everything else can actually be deciphered and read. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of extras in the game that really help flesh out the entire world that they've created, and we're loving it so far. So
now you mentioned that the Lost Ruins of Arnock is your big box game for the season.
yes.
Now, when you say big box, is it like Galaxy Truckers? Because that was a pretty decent sized box.
No. So what you can actually see it right behind me, right over here.
Is that the one on the top shelf?
Yeah. So on the top shelf, the one here that's the traditional wider box is our big box size.
Okay.
And then the one right beside it is actually Under Falling Skies.
Okay.
I changed my cameras, but I know if I did it right now live and everything, I'd never have my face again. And so, but yeah, basically the Galaxy Trucker size is that Under Falling Skies almost. So you're talking a pretty decent sized game, bit bigger than the regular Codenames box.
Yeah.
It's kind of our medium size. It's not. I want to say it's equivalent to like a Carcassonne box, for people who are in the
familiar.
and familiar. And then the Arnock one is more the big traditional wider box. The price points on those are like the $30 range for the medium, and then $60 for the big box.
Oh, those are great prices. Yeah, perfect. Now, if for anybody that might be unfamiliar with the full breadth of the Czech Games Edition library, what are some games that you would recommend from your catalog for the upcoming season? I have a couple that I would recommend. Obviously, we kind of talked about them before, a little bit before camera.
So there are a couple that I start off talking about with people. If you don't know board gaming, or board gaming is not your thing really,
Mhm.
Codenames is an excellent
Right.
introduction.
Absolutely.
Codenames is by far our most popular title. It's can be found pretty much everywhere,
Right.
sold everywhere. And you can also try it out at codenames.game.
Okay.
That is Codenames Online. It's a browser-based version of the game that you can play for free over Zoom or any other conferencing software. We made that during toward the start of the pandemic when things started getting shut down. We made that live to everyone so that people can still spend some time getting together over camera
Yeah.
and
That
and
makes,
having some fun.
that's great. What's another one that you would recommend as a gate? Let's call it just a gateway
Yeah,
into it.
yeah. As a gateway from there, I'd go to Codenames Duet. Codenames Duet is our two-player version.
Mhm.
We'll also be launching it online as well fairly soon. Working out a few little things right now, but that one's on the line. And then I have some personal favorites. I love from our small box line of games. I'm a big fan of Pictomania
Oh, so
and
good.
and Letter Jam. They're
Yes.
both games that are the lighter, not party games,
Right.
but in that realm. You're guessing words. You have more traditional like family style games. Letter Jam's a little bit more gamery, I'd say,
Yeah,
just
it has
be
a little bit more crunch to it,
yeah, a
sure.
little bit more crunch. Anyone who's more deeper into like the Scrabble fans or crossword puzzles and such are definitely going to gravitate to Lair Jam.
Nice.
And then when I am talking about like bigger games, getting into things uh, that are kind of our breadbasket, I have two. Galaxy Trucker is the classic space game where you're building a ship from sewage pipes that is
Right.
going to be blasted apart horribly along the way. But it's a lot of fun. It's really easy to gravitate into with families as newer gamers. And then Zolkin.
So, oh,
So I mean that's just flipping the page, going
yeah.
all the way different.
That's,
And
that's that's going from a 5 or a 4 on the to an 11 immediately.
yeah, so that's kind of like because in Zolkin it's a worker placement game.
Right.
You are, but you're talking strategy level there just took a complete
Yes.
turn. We went from a very light games to a very heavy game. And that's kind of something though that you'll see with a lot of our lineup with Czech Games Edition. You go from very light games to very heavy games like Through the Ages and Zolkin and Alchemists. Um, we don't walk the middle line quite as much as other game publishers.
I would 100% agree with that statement. You either have very ease of access games that will bring a community in, and then you have these are Euro games
Yeah,
with all the crunch that you expect from that, but with all the fun that you expect from that as
oh,
well.
absolutely. And that's kind of something that comes down to like our designers. And the preferences of the people who are in our company. We're gamers. A lot of our team are video game developers or board game developers. So we have a lot of designers, a lot of people who are like, I really want, and that's also why we don't put out a ton of games each year. We only put out like one to like five is the max, but that's with expansions and stuff like that.
But you also sub-license some of your games, code games especially, to other publishers that have better, I wouldn't say better, different licenses
Different.
that
Yes.
you have access to, right?
Yeah, so the OP, we've licensed code names through. Specifically, there's the Disney version, Harry Potter, Marvel, Simpsons, um,
they're like the Funko of they have pretty much every license and can work with it.
Yeah.
So
Well, we are going to be doing some licensing versions on our own pretty soon too. So
okay,
I can't say anything about it,
okay,
but there is a big one on the horizon.
all right. Well, I
That's
look
coming.
forward to that.
So we do have additional Codenames versions coming up in the near future, next year, near future 2021 timeframe.
Hopefully, we'll be able to see each other at some point in the coming year.
Yeah, yeah,
Back
I'm
at a
hoping.
convention or something, or a trade.
Yeah, I mean that's the wish, but at the same time, we want to make sure everyone's safe.
Absolutely.
We've been as a company, we've done a couple promotions throughout this time frame
Mhm.
to give to the World Health Organization, CDC, to bring about hopefully a cure or vaccine or however treatments, basically make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of all the companies that I watched, I keep my naughty nice list on, right? The fact that you as a company were already in the beginnings of your pivot, not even knowing that this was going to be an issue this year. You're beginning your online content creation just before the pandemic hit, and then you all leaned heavily into it and have done very very well in building your community and maintaining your community through your online engagement, which I thumbs up.
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you. First, yes, we were trying to get some things started with Twitch and different platforms, just because we saw. I mean, everyone watches the people that are above them and who are doing different things, and I mean, I'll be the first to say that at Essen last year, Asmodee had a television studio in their booth.
Yep.
They were streaming and filming a show straight from Essen. And it wasn't a small production. It was a significant booth size, and they had people all number of hours like running through that. And when you see that, and then you see like another huge company that we always look at is Games Workshop. I mean, people can love or hate,
Right.
but the thing,
Companies.
and everyone does. Everyone has a very big opinion when it comes to that within the industry, but they have possibly the most successful channel outside of maybe Critical Role, in a kind of R segment,
Right.
on Twitch. So
No,
like
I agree.
they run they stream their figures to thousands of people. And
Thousands and thousands.
thousands and thousands and thousands of people watch them talk about their product line. And so we watch things like that and we go, okay, how can we do that for our platform? Because we're not a Games Workshop, we're not an Asmodee, we're a different sort of company, and we aspire to be a different sort of company. But how can we use what we've seen other people trending doing within?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. It doesn't have to be big production. It just has to be continual contact with your community in this platform now that we have to, definitely spin it. And like I said, you guys have been doing a great job of making it happen in your pivot to maintain community and engage in a new and broader community. You guys have done a very good job of that. Now the important questions. We've talked about games, all good stuff. We've talked about Under Falling Skies. We've talked about Lost Ruins of Arnock. And for everybody that's watching this video and for everybody that's live, I've got them live over here. Everybody, sorry, they're going to get it first on TikTok. Make sure you check out czechgames.com so that you're going to be able to see all the great products available, and check with your local retailer to see if they're going to have it on the shelves. And if they aren't, you let them know that they need to get it on the shelf so that you can get it on your table and play with your friends. Now, the big questions.
Okay.
What do you, Tony, during the holiday season, like to do that is tradition for you and your family?
Okay. So, wow, during the whole season,
Okay,
or
well, look, I don't want to discount Thanksgiving. A lot of people are upset about it that I'm already talking Christmassy stuff, but yes, mainly Christmas.
oh, okay. Um, so one of the things that we always do, and it seems like it's like this small thing, but it's really become this more of a traditional thing. My family, my mom did it with me and my brother, and we always let the kids when they wake up
Mhm.
run and get their stockings.
Okay.
So the difference is so the concept of a stocking has changed through
Okay.
the years for our family. So what starts off is like, oh, you have a little stocking hung with care with some baubles and stuff like that. To my son's stocking is now this wide,
Mhm.
giant boot
The size of a door.
that that's stuffed with presents and things in there. And so we've combined that with my wife's tradition, which her tradition was always we give they always received pajamas
Nice. Okay.
beforehand. So what the kids will find is they run down, they know that the stockings are going to have some of the things like socks and underwear um and random stuff that we throw in there just to irritate them, like
Sure. Of course.
oranges, oranges, rocks. I've done that to my son. My son loves all the sciencey stuff. So one year I just had a whole bunch of rocks in the bottom of his. So he gets in here, and what he didn't know was they were all like the geode style type things. But I unpackaged all that junk in it, so it just looked like he had a bunch of rocks in his.
Bunch of coal.
Yeah. So, but
But
the
if
whole
they're taking it off, it's like super heavy, and they're like super excited. It's
yeah.
so heavy.
Yeah, so heavy, and it was just a bunch of rocks in there. Um, but yeah, we definitely do this whole that way. Also, the and I realize this is why my parents did it. Now
Okay.
it's so they can sleep in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because the kids know not to wake us up at the first rays of sunlight of dawn,
Mhm.
because what they do is they pull out their stockings and they start playing with all the little presents in the stockings, and then we get to sleep in until like 8, 9 o'clock, which is late on Christmas.
Yes,
So
that's awesome. That is so good. Now, for you, Tony, you specifically, what is a treat, a dessert, or a candy, or just a main course meal that you get really excited about and really hope to see during the holiday season as well?
okay, so I'll be the weirdo because I am very much not a sweets
Okay.
individual, but so there's a type of pie that I really love though, and it's a vinegar pie.
Vinegar pie.
It's called a vinegar pie, and it kind of has the consistency of like a pecan pie.
Okay.
So you're talking a little bit more like, but it's even a little bit more savory than the pecan pie
Okay.
filling. So it's not quite as sweet as that, and
I'm writing this
it
one down because one of the reasons I asked this question is because there are such a wide breadth of differences that
mhm.
people enjoy. And if it's something I've never had, I'm going to try it. And I'm
Yeah,
honest.
so it really comes down into the whole like it's like a rhubarb pie almost too, like that.
That, that's my favorite pie is strawberry rhubarb.
Yeah, so we're getting into that realm of pies where it's not really the traditional like fruit filling.
Hmm.
It's a little bit more savory. You can get the sweetness, but depending on who cooks it and what, it's not like necessarily like extra sugar all the whole thing. You have a little bit of the like natural sugar from the plant, and yeah,
All
that
right.
that's
I can,
that's my realm.
I can dig that. Very cool. Well, Tony, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. All of my holiday operatives are really excited to hear more about your games and everything. And again, anytime I get to spend with you talking about the industry and games is always a good time had. And I hope that you and your family and everybody at Czech Games has a wonderful holiday season. And we look forward to seeing, especially, I'm really excited for Under Fallen Skies. Also excited about Lost Ruins of Arnock, but Under Fallen Skies really is. I think it's going to be a good one, a real win. I mean, I think the other one is as well, but I'm excited for that other one. Really excited.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
Like you said, I just hope you be safe over this holiday season and
everybody watch. So Tony, be well, and I'll talk to you again super soon. And for everybody out there watching, make sure you go find out all you can about Czech Games Edition on all their social media platforms, and also at their website, czechgames.com, so that you can be in the know, so that you can get all their games on your shelf, on your table, and playing them with your friends. And until next time, I'll see you at your friendly local game store.